Hello everyone, the first ever Food Review Club podcast is about to go live and it's brought to you by Planet Donut. We are ambassadors of Planet Donut, they're major sponsors of our page. Now, you can get these glorious sugary treats sent to your house. Go and check them out on social media. Go and have a look at the amazing donuts that they're producing. A great backstory, and by watching this podcast and being a supporter of our page, you get FRC family discount by using the code FRC10. Wherever you are in the British Isles, you can get a box delivered to your house. Enjoy. Hello everyone, and welcome to the first official Food Review Club podcast yet to be named. So we probably should have named it before we started, but you know, this is how we roll. So those of you that are watching on YouTube will see who I'm sat with now. Those of you that are listening, you might recognise this lady's voice. This is Jess. Hello,
Hi.
Jess.
Hello.
The official queen of Food Review Club.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
It wouldn't be right, Jess, starting without doing the first podcast without having you on.
Oh, thank you very much.
You are the number one wanted guest, so here you are.
Yeah.
And it was quite easy to book you, as we are husband and wife team.
Yes, I'm available when you are.
Yes. Are you gonna put in an invoice later on for a time?
No.
This is a free appearance.
This is a free appearance. Next
Wicked.
time I will charge.
Oh, will you now? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Phones are off. So, guys, before I crack on, obviously, you'll notice where we are. We are in Parker Rose Interiors here in St Ives. Big shout out to them for letting us use their kitchen. No, that is not a paid promo for them. We're just happy to have somewhere nice to film a podcast.
Our office isn't very nice.
No. It's okay. It's okay. It does the job, but this is a sexy kitchen environment. I think that will be good for certainly in the next few podcasts. So massive shout out to Parker Rose Interiors. Anyone looking for a new kitchen or anything like that, go and check them out on Facebook. They are legit. So yeah. Right then, Jess, should we, seeing as this is episode 1,
Yes.
should we rewind?
Should we start from the beginning?
Start from the beginning. I think there's a lot of questions on people's sort of lips. Have you got your phone on you as well?
No, I haven't.
We have put on Instagram. Hopefully, it won't get any. This is
bad
going to be unedited, by the way, guys. So you
Yeah.
have to excuse me if you're watching and you think how terrible this is. You're probably right.
This is my first ever in front of camera.
Are you nervous, Jess?
I am nervous. I don't know where to look. I don't know what to do with my hands. I've only got 2 fingernails painted. I'm trying to cover them up.
So I put out 10 minutes ago. I put out a question poll on Instagram, and we've got 1. So that's a strong start.
It's going to be a long,
All right, cool.
long recording.
Okay, so look, let's start from the beginning, Jess.
Yeah, back in 2018.
Yep. Do you remember my
I remember.
let's go and do this thing?
I remember we were actually in bed, weren't we?
All right, kinky. Go on, careful what you talk about.
Just had a no, we were in bed and you were watching Dave Portnoy.
Yep.
And you went through it and you watched, like, I'm not kidding, it's the only voice I could hear in the bed. It must have been about 50 videos. And you were like, why don't we do this? And I was like, what? And you were like, everyone in England loves takeaway.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do it for everyone? And then I can't remember how long it was after you said that we actually then went and done the first filming, which I was not happy about. It was like the dead of winter.
It was freezing, wasn't it?
In our local takeaway shop, and I've never done anything like that before, and it was crazy. I didn't like it. I felt really embarrassed recording. Didn't even know what you were doing. I don't even think the first video lasted more than like a minute. Was it 2 minutes?
Are you talking about Pizza Town?
Pizza Town. The OG first review. I think you struggled to let it last 3 minutes.
I did, yeah. All right, Jess.
Now, I'm
now
like,
you can't shut me
hey,
up after 15.
15 minutes, let's wrap it up.
So, I actually did a pretend one, a Mickey Mouse version at Frankie and Benny's.
Did you?
Yeah. I think I went out for dinner with Simon Rose, actually, and his brother Ben.
This guy?
I think so, or something like that. Oh, and I did a little sort of pretend one, see if I liked it, and I thought, yeah, this is kind of fun. That was my overriding thing at the beginning. Because obviously Dave Portnoy, it's no secret that I obviously watched Dave Portnoy's reviews and I absolutely loved them. I think, like you just said, must have watched 50 in a row. It captivated my imagination. You know, he only really does pizzas in New York predominantly, and then he does a few others around America, but it is just pizzas. And I thought, God, in England we've got so much great takeaway food and amazing shops, and the street food scene is just sort of exploding. And I thought, wow, what if we just tried to do that? And this is
no one was doing it either.
No.
Like in the UK, there wasn't. I hadn't even heard of Dave Portnoy, and now there's loads of people doing what we do. Really,
yeah, there's quite a few. Yeah,
like you used to get your Instagram bloggers, food reviews like that, but
they take a picture,
yeah,
put 25 filters on it, write a bullshit caption, and upload it to Instagram. That was the extent of.
But, you know, they had some of the good ones, they had quite a lot of followers, but there was no one really doing video.
They've moved more like food porn pages rather than actual sort of like video content on food.
Yeah, there was no one really doing video content of this kind of food. I mean, you could watch stuff on TV of, you know, Rick Stein going around places or like Jamie Oliver or whatever, but there was no one actually ever doing the food you actually eat.
Lowbrow. Yeah. Under the radar, the stuff that you, me, and you guys at home actually want to consume. So that's kind of where it started, and it's been a wild ride up to this point. Now, a lot of people ask me, like, when did you know that you could have done something? And this is kind of a funny backstory. So we have another business called Profile Digital Agency. Shout out to them. Won't go into that too much, but we did weekly vlogs. Do you remember them, Jess?
I do, yeah.
So weekly vlogs, they were really nicely produced. You know, we had mics,
drones.
We had drones up. I was on these videos talking about, you know, the digital world and all this sort of bullshit. But they were really good videos. I thought they were anyway. You know, we put a lot of time and effort into it. And, you know, even with mega hype and promotion, they only ever went to between 800 and 1,500 views per video. And it was, maybe I was a bit not very patient, and maybe it would have gone big eventually, but I think that first review that we did maybe went to like 8,000 views, and I thought straight away, I thought, wow, that's loads more than what we're doing already. Like, not this about the views, but I'm just talking about whether, you know,
people want to watch it.
Yeah, whether people would watch it or not. It's important, you know, like, yeah. And then I think that 8,000 views, I think, made me want to do it again. And then we did Chicken Licking, and this is when another penny dropped for me. We did Chicken Licking in St Ives, which is like the place you go to when you bowl out of the pubs and the nightclubs and you want some spicy potatoes and some chicken wings or a kebab or something. I did a review there, and this is quite an iconic place. I did it in daylight, and that went to 50,000 views. And what happened was, because it's in a local town, granted it was my local town, but people from yesteryear who'd moved away were tagging their mates, their mums, their family and their friends, going, check this out, have you seen this? Someone's reviewed our local. And it was like this thing, and so it went to 50,000 views pretty quick, and I was like, wow, yeah. Because I'm in marketing, I understand that with eyeballs, and you can turn that reach into revenue. I'm a businessman as well. So that got me excited. Obviously, I absolutely love food and doing this sort of thing. So it was a match made in heaven. And from that point forward, I think I was like completely tunnel visioned with where I wanted to go with it. Is that fair to say, Jess?
I think so, yeah.
That's the second review. I think I knew at that point that I wanted to go for it big time.
Yeah. And it was quite hard to start with, because we were both, I mean, you were running a business, I was working full time, and yet we were still trying to, I don't know, how many were we putting out at the beginning?
Not many. It was very inconsistent. I would say between one and three a week. But there was periods of
like no
big inactivity.
Yeah. I remember it vividly, that it was like a rainy, cold winter night, and I just got home from like a 10-hour shift, and you were like, can we go reviewing? And I was like, no, I don't want it. And you had to like force me.
Well, Jess, hang on a minute. When you say force, maybe bribed you with date nights and flowers.
Just like a night of takeaway.
Yeah. Looking back at it though,
we put in the graft, I'm not going to lie, at the beginning when I was getting home at like 6, and then
we still are.
And then we would go, go out again till like 11, 12 o'clock, it was a lot. And we did that for a long while as well, didn't we?
It was funny. I can remember, it was funny because I still don't think I'm very good at it. And at the beginning, maybe you watch us now and think, yeah, maybe you're all right now, mate. But let me just say this. At the beginning, I was terrible. Really bad.
We're actually going to film a reaction video to Matt watching his first ever review. Wow, that is coming soon.
That's going to be painful. But, so yeah, look, I knew I wasn't very good. And a lot of the comments at the beginning were, who is this chump? What does he know about food? You know, this fat moron. Someone even called me a mad backwards ape. Genuine. And I knew the only way for us to progress with it, I knew there was a concept there, was just to fucking keep going. Yeah. Just keep going with it. And, you know, and slowly but surely I got more confident, and so did you, even with your camera skills. And like standing there on the street like a pair of melons doing what we do is very difficult. You know, I might come across on camera a bit very loud and brash, but it's not the case at all. If Jess will say, if there's someone, you know, loitering around behind the camera, I can't do it. It throws me off. Like, I really, really struggle. You know, if my mood's not right.
Yeah, you're a big like feng shui person.
Yeah,
like, like the moons have to align.
Yeah, it's not. I'm really struggle with it a lot of the time, and but I knew that I had to get out there and do it and just try and get better. So that's kind of the early part.
I think though the reason why it's got to where it's got to is, I mean, yeah, the content is good, but I think a lot of people would have given up by now. Like, if we used to like put in loads of graft and put out a video and then it would only go to like no one.
Happened a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, and at the beginning, it wasn't a monetized page or anything like that. So we were literally just doing it for, I don't know, just to build something. And then when it became monetized, just remember thinking, oh, we've made, like we've worked so much and we've got like £100 at the end of the month. And it, you know, I
think our first monetization, fuck it, we'll talk about it. It was $170.
Dollars as well.
Dollars.
Yeah, so you think, oh yeah, and then you're like, oh no, like convert it into pounds. But yeah, when we were out kind of giving up our weekends and doing things like that, and it took a lot for someone to be like, right, let's continue, let's keep going. And even now, sometimes we're like, come on, we've got to keep going.
Yeah. What was nice, from my perspective, was I knew that you were supporting me because I was like mad relentless with it. And I knew you were being a great wife and supporting me with it, and you stuck at it. But there was definitely a moment for me where I remember you went like, you changed, where you went, yeah, I think we've got a future doing this. And then when you like really came on board with it, I think that's when the page really exploded. Just like, I know our YouTube numbers are not the greatest; they're very humble. At the moment, we're still pushing, we're still working. But that was you, Jess. I didn't even want to go on YouTube. Like that was all you, and like.
I know we used to put like the odd video on YouTube. Like, what were we thinking? Like, why didn't we put everything on there like we did on Facebook? It's really silly. So we're paying for that a bit now.
Yeah, but there's yeah. But anyway, my point was that I remember when you I came on board with it, and that was seriously cool.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't. I don't think if you were just doing this with, because I remember at the beginning you used to like drag anyone to come and film with you.
Oh, it was literally whoever I was standing closest to.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, mate, just hold the camera. But I do think though, because we've been able to do it together. I mean, if Matt was doing this with someone else, like a friend, it would have definitely affected our relationship, because there was nights where you'd be out 2-3 nights, days, a week, out late and things like that. And if we weren't doing it together, then that probably would have been a bit of a problem for us.
Look, I would say, some people would say it would have affected their relationship. I think it's been great for us to get out and do this and go all over the place and spend some wicked time together. I mean, we're more like best friends, aren't we, than just, you know, acquaintances, shall we say. I've got some friends, I won't name any names, I know for a fact they couldn't spend such intense time like that with their other halves, and it'd be, no, that's not saying our relationship is better than anyone else's, but it's great that I'm able to do it with you.
Yeah, and we work like not a lot of people can work with their other half. I mean, it does test us sometimes, but we seem to.
Natural.
Yeah, we seem to do fine with that. I think our problem now is not the fact that we can't work together, is that sometimes we can't switch off from work, and
Yeah, that's not. I don't. That's another question. That's another topic for debate. I'm not one of these. Just get on with it and let crack on. So let's talk about we've had some breaking news today.
We have.
Breaking news today. You've probably seen it on our social media account. So, not that numbers should or would define your work. However, it is nice to be recognised in, shall we say, in that way. Now, we have been in the top 10 UK for food and drinks pages on Facebook a couple of times. We've been in and out. If you lose a few million views here or there, it can really dramatically push you up and down the ladder. And in August 2021, we had 33.7 million views in the month, which made us number 6 in the whole of the UK. That's cross-platform as well. That's Facebook and YouTube. Do you know what? There's times where you need to hear something like that to really give you another little boost. I think that was it today. It's blown me away. That means there's only 5 in August anyway. There was only 5 pages in the whole of the UK on Facebook and YouTube that got more views than us. Now, if you understand the 5 people above us, then it becomes even more special when you talk about the people like, I'll bring up the list, fuck it.
Twisted, Food Bible, was it?
Food Bible, Twisted, Kitchen Nightmares, and Proper Tasty, and Abu Julia, who's a big name in the Middle East. Food Bible, Twisted, Kitchen Nightmares, and Proper Tasty. These are multi-million-pound media conglomerates. You know, we're ahead of people like Tastemade UK. Like, they've got 2 million followers. Like, it is breathtaking. I'm not going to dig anyone out or anything, but people say, "Oh, this page is better than yours," or "This page." Let's talk more action. Yeah, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. We are way higher than I ever thought we would be, but you must be happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm immensely proud of you as well. And Callum, who's behind the camera, massive shout out to Pug Shoots. Put his Instagram on the bottom of the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Give him a little follow. He's come into the fold, and it means we've been able to put out more consistent videos. We've been able to put out extra content across YouTube. Fucking phone's ringing. Amateur hour. Across YouTube, TikTok, which we're trying to push, Instagram. Like, each one of these platforms requires.
It's a lot of time, isn't it?
Jess the other day, he said to me, "I think we should get onto Twitter." I was like, I can't even think about this.
We've got like 600 followers, you know.
Yeah, well done. There we go.
We've only done about 3
That's 600
tweets.
more followers than I wanted on there.
It's so much time, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is just one business. We've got other businesses as well. So
exactly.
You talk about all the different platforms. It can totally bamboozle you sometimes. Hence why it's good to just do a couple at a time and put all your effort into one channel, shall we say. But now we've got more team and we've got more capability. We can push it a little bit. So this podcast, I think, Jess, is going to be a nice opportunity for us to sit down and dive a bit deeper into food, our journey, and hopefully have some amazing guests on here that can talk to us about what they do. You know, whether it's a celebrity who's got a penchant for food, or
what?
Yeah, I know. Don't know where that came from.
Oh my gosh.
Or whatever. I just think this is a great time to sit down and talk in a bit more depth to people. And I honestly think it couldn't be a better guest on the first one than you, Jessica. So I've got a couple of questions for you, Jess.
Oh, have you?
Oi. So look,
Okay, here we go.
Look, we must have done, I don't know how many we've done now, maybe like 900 reviews, maybe. You know, around that. Maybe even 1,000. I don't know. We should probably know that number, to be fair.
We should, yeah.
And if anyone out there can count,
someone might be.
Let us know.
You never know.
What has been your sort of standout food places that we've been to, Jess? And I'm not necessarily talking about all the big scores and stuff, like, you know.
Yeah.
Talk to me about ones that you've really enjoyed from your perspective, because you do get to eat all the food. We'll cross that.
Do
up.
I? I don't. I don't get to eat at all. Like, I don't get to see the food. No, unfortunately, I ate all the food. Let me have a think. There's been, I mean, the ones we have given tens to, they have stood out. You know, you likes of like Chicken George, Roly Poly Eats, even like the sandwich shop we went to the other day. Like, that's, you know, I think me and Matt have got very similar tastes. we've got very similar tastes, haven't we? So that we like the same kind of food. But I never really used to like kebabs or anything. Like if at the end of the night, if I was getting something from the shop, or like from the kebab shop, it would just be like chips. But now,
Just chips.
yeah, I would get like cheesy chips.
So you're saying if you're drunk, coming out of the
that was my
just get
go-to.
chips. No, not even like a little chicken burger on the side.
No. Maybe it was because I was.
I feel like I don't even know you.
Maybe it's because I didn't have enough money. I spent it all on alcohol. But no, I always just get cheesy chips.
No, that's not an excuse, Jess. That's not an excuse. There's a lot of people loitering around. Excuse me, mate, you've got a spare quid.
I'm not like that.
I would have got about 15 quid. I'd have had like a full mixed kebab.
I've never done that before. See, I know people that do that kind of thing. Would like loiter around the bar for a free drink. I wasn't.
Oh no, I'm not like that.
I wasn't like that. No, but no, that's what I would get. So I think since we've started, definitely opened my eyes. I do like a good quality doner kebab.
Yes.
You know, and I don't even like lamb. I know there's probably not a lot of lamb.
I don't think anyone actually knows what meat is in the
No.
kebab, Jess. It's just various cuts. Probably a bit of horse in there.
Oh God, don't.
There is, Jess, 100%.
I really like that one we went to again recently because they do kind of merge, unfortunately. Some people were like, "Oh, where's good here?" And you're like, "I can't even remember." Sorry, I can't remember where we even went there. That one we went to where was it? The kebab shop that won the kebab of the year.
Oh, Masters Kebab. In Gillingham.
I did like because I actually got my own meal from there, didn't I? So that was.
You actually got your own meal. Is that why you remember it?
Yeah, I actually got my dinner from there.
That was an amazing kebab.
And that was really nice, but like.
Again, though, that's a standout. That is in my mind as well. That's a standout operation.
We went to Wingfest a couple of weeks ago. That was really fun.
Shout out Wingfest.
Yeah, that was a really good weekend. I think there might still be tickets available for Manchester.
Oi, yes, Jess.
Plug that in.
I think there's tickets available on the Sunday in Manchester.
Yeah.
If you're watching from Manchester and you want to get your chops around some bones, you can. Tickets available.
And I really liked actually at London Wingfest, and we were really excited to see them at Bristol Wingfest, and they weren't there. It was Hot Damn.
Yeah, they were amazing.
Really good. Really good. And we were literally like, right, when we get there, first thing, go to Hot Damn and get like 6 wings, because we only got one of them last time.
Weren't even there, were they?
No, they weren't there. I don't know why. 2
people on the way to Wingfest Bristol that I was excited about, and that I think we both spoke in the car was Chicken George and getting more Chicken George wings. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but they're that good. Yeah. I was genuinely excited about it, and Hot Damn, he wasn't there. Can't believe it. We did a review. If you want to know who this guy is, type in Hot Damn food review into YouTube, and you'll be able to see our review. And we actually sat down, didn't we?
Crazy Welshman, isn't he?
He's a very crazy Welsh man with a great story.
Yeah.
And a story that I felt needed telling, because you get chatting to these people, and some of them say, "Oh yeah, I've just taken a off the shelf hot sauce variant."
Yeah.
And theirs was not.
No, it wasn't.
It was a dad's recipe from Sri Lanka. I'm not going to butcher the story, but it was his dad's recipe from a Sri Lankan food shop that was taken and adapted, and he used to make it for him and his family, and then they used to make it for the kids, and other kids from the street used to come, and all of a sudden now they're making it for everyone, and it's just.
He brought it back, didn't he?
Wasn't it amazing? Like it actually, when you ate it, it like made parts of your face wake up. Do you know what I mean by that? It wasn't just.
He would be a good podcast guest, actually.
He would, but he is from Swansea, Jess. We would have to bring in security.
Maybe we could take the podcast on the road.
Yeah.
Because we've never done a Welsh tour, have we? And I feel like we're neglecting the Welsh at the minute, so we need to get
We've got
over
all the kit, Jess, so it's a pretty humble and pretty easy to do setup. So if you want us to come and do a podcast in your shop, or you've got a guest, let us know, because I think this podcast could be great. And I know this is episode 1, but you know what I'm like. Very ambitious. Why would this not be the UK's number 1 food podcast? Like, let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
Is there even any other food ones?
Fuck it, doesn't matter.
We don't need to do. We don't need to do any research on anyone else.
Just do our own thing, innit?
Yeah.
All right, Jess. So look, I think there's an air of, when we started this, about credibility.
Credibility.
Yeah.
What in?
Who are you two?
Well, yeah.
Why can you judge people like that?
Exactly.
I kind of just wanted to cover how much we both actually love food. And I would say, out of all of our friends and family, before we started food reviews, we definitely had the most amount of takeaways.
We were the known family. If you need me to order you a Chinese, I am the best at doing that.
Yeah, you
Anything Indian. If we're at a family gathering, we need a takeaway order in. All right, Jess, sort it out.
You're very organised with that sort of thing.
And I remember my stepdad telling me something before we were even married. He was just like, knew we were made for each other because we just loved eating.
Yeah.
So,
true story.
yep, we love a good takeaway. Love a Mackey's. But that's
Does that answer my question though? So why are you quite credible?
Oh, so Matt actually has got a chefing background.
Loosely.
Come on, tell us about your.
I worked in a kitchen for a couple of years.
Background.
Yeah, a couple of years on my days off from college, I worked in the kitchen, and I did learn quite a bit. And I found Jess thinks I was a pot washer. So look, yeah, I worked. I know you think I worked as a pot wash. And whenever I bring it up, it's like a laughing stock in our house, by the way.
It is.
What do you mean it is?
It is.
Why?
It's like me saying I was like I don't know, hotel expert when I worked somewhere for like 6 months.
All right. I worked there for a couple of years under a very good chef. I enjoyed it. It was great. I only ever was on the sort of the starters and stuff, but you know, it just gives you a taste for the environment, and it definitely lit my enthusiasm for great food. I don't think I was in that. I never grew up in a household that was particularly fine dining-esque. However, my dad, as I've said on camera numerous times, this is where my deep-rooted passion for food comes from in different situations. Because I've said it a few times when I used to go out working with my dad. If we had a good day's work and I impressed him, shall we say, we used to stop off and get fish and chips together. And that is one of these things with food where it means more to you than just getting a meal.
Yeah.
The smell of fish and chips now, salt and vinegar, and it just takes me back to sitting on the wall with my dad. Bless him.
Your dad actually, I've got a funny story about your dad. Why don't you tell everyone about how he cooked you those pizzas once?
Yeah. So this is what that's a nice little segue, Jess. So when I say I wasn't brought up in this, you know, my dad also was a bit of my mum and dad split up when I was young, and the courts said I could go and see my dad for a couple of days a week. And my dad used to, you know, when we were driving around a ring road and he would overtake someone, he would tell me he was a county rally driving champion. You know, he's quite a successful sportsman, by the way, but he's a bit of a winner, you know, like he always liked to be number one, always liked to be the best. So even with cooking, I must have been 5 or 6 years old, and I think I was about 3 weeks into my dad coming out of the kitchen with these immaculate pizzas, you know, these big sort of, they were huge. I know I was only a kid, but they were massive, big pizzas, bigger than the oven. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was about 3 weeks in, and my detective self, even at 5, got the better of me, and once he told me to wait there, once he cooks the pizzas, I actually heard a knock at the back door, and found the pizza delivery boy dropping pizzas to my dad, and my dad honestly looked like he was shocked that I'd rumbled him. But he was genuinely telling me he'd made these pizzas himself, he was even told the guy, "Don't come to the front door, come to the back." And he was out there meeting him, giving him it was like some sort of dirty transaction.
Secret pizzas.
Yeah, secret pizzas, and it was brilliant. That was.
I actually really enjoy listening to stories about when you were younger, about like when you ate a whole chicken.
So that's true. So
How old were you?
About 8 or something. I went to my nan's on some holiday, and you know she made me a roast dinner with a normal roast, a big roast dinner with a chicken leg or something, and I had the whole chicken. Didn't she? My dad said that she phoned. She phoned him to make sure if I was okay or not ill.
Got worms or something.
Yeah. My first actual memory, Jess, this is getting really deep now, was eating an entire pot of jam. I remember it. Someone left me with a pot of jam when I was a baby, and I just ate the whole lot. All I remember is them taking it off me and screaming that, "Oh my God, he's eating the whole lot." I was always destined for some sort of eating job, I suppose.
It's like my if you see like pictures of me when I was younger, I've always got a packet of crisps in my hand.
What's changed?
Ooh. I know. I could do crisp reviews.
Jess, I don't know anyone knows more about crisps than you.
I actually think I've eaten the most crisps of anyone in the whole entire world.
Do you want to get down to business then? Let's talk about, people say to me like, what's your favourite crisp? And I say, for what occasion? If I was having a sandwich, that'd be one type of crisp.
I think I could probably guess what crisps you
know, so we've spoken about it loads of times. If you're having a standalone bag of crisps though, I'd want something different.
Oh, then you're going to tell everyone, or?
Yeah, cool. All right, so my sandwich crisp would be Walker's Max Paprika. You get the occasional massive one in there. It's great to put in. It's also a big bag, so you can afford to lose a few into the sandwich, and you've still got plenty to just crunch on afterwards. It's a great sandwich crisp. My standalone pack of crisps, and I do not think this can be beaten, and you will not find them in the shops, only on Amazon and eBay and stuff, is Brannigan's smoked ham and pickle.
I found them once,
we're not allowed to buy them anymore. So Jess found them. It was 36 quid for like an 18 box set. A box of them or something like that. I ate the entire box in 3 days. But anyway, yeah, they are. Brannigan's do, in my opinion, the best crisp in its shape and form and texture. And the smoked ham and pickle, they do
there's another, I can't remember.
There's a beef and mustard one, I think, which is it's a bit too aggressive for me. But the smoked ham and pickle, Brannigan's crisp, I believe to be truly elite. And I've got a driving crisp, which is beef hula hoops.
Yeah.
If you're driving, you want a different type of crisp. You want something with crunch and a big bag, grab bag, beef hula hoops. Very good.
Hoops with a chaser of a Kinder Bueno.
And a Kinder Bueno. Again,
we could be reviewing all evening, eating food, be like, so full, we'll have to get fuel on the way home. And Matt's like, can you get me some beef hula hoops and a Kinder Bueno, please? And a Red Bull, usually, because it's late.
If we're driving and I need to keep my eyes open, yeah. So go on then, what would your crisps be?
Oh, goodness.
So your driving crisp, your sandwich crisp, and your crisp.
I don't think I can. It just depends what mood I'm in. Recently, I do like salt and vinegar at the minute. Salt and vinegar squares, or like a Monster Munch pickled onion, like really good strong flavours. Wheat crunchies, sometimes I get wheat crunchies, or just like a...
You quite like the basic stuff as well, like onion rings.
Oh, yeah.
And what's the other one you like?
Bacon rashers.
Bacon rashers.
I see, like, do you know, like you get like the sharing bags? That's just, I could put that away very easily. I like a crisp dip combo, like Thai sweet chili.
Oh yeah.
Good dipping crisps. Yeah.
Just makes her own dip. Do you want to tell everyone about your dip you made?
Oh, it's very complex. It's just what is it? Greek yogurt, 0% fat, with mint sauce. If you mix them together and then get some Thai sweet chili sensations, dip them in, or like the blue Doritos, dip them in. It's just a game changer.
There you go, people.
There you go.
That's hot off the press.
Watch mint sauce go out of stock before Christmas. With the 20 people that have watched it.
Do you remember that time though when I tried to put in mint jelly and you lost your shit?
Yeah.
I've not lost your shit, mate. You weren't happy. You weren't happy, were you?
I wasn't happy. It was the last bit of yogurt, and we've got room and mint jelly. But
I prefer the jelly.
You have that with everything, really, like roast wise, don't you?
Yeah. We won't go into that now, but
it's just that I was talking about our eating habits for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got some questions for you.
Go on then.
For the.
Do you want to look at Instagram as well?
Oh yeah, do that first. See if there's anything on there.
Let's put my airplane mode off for a second.
I've actually just got some questions that a lot of people ask us whenever they see us.
Okay.
So a lot of people ask what we film on. We just film on an iPhone 12, which is just the best for filming up close, far away, moving around lots and things like that. And sometimes we have like a mic that plugs into it, doesn't it?
Yep.
That's what we use. We actually filmed 2 reviews the other day, which we can't put out because the mic wasn't working.
You like corrupted the file, which is crazy.
Yeah, so that's annoying, but that's all we use. So it's really easy for us when we're out and about, just whip an iPhone out. We don't have to like get a massive camera equipment. It's really easy. So anyone that's ever thinks, I can't start a YouTube channel,
let's just go back to that quickly. So part of the thing we actually started, I think this message has been actually lost a little bit, Jess. Do you remember? Because we were running the digital agency, and at the actual beginning, I said to you, this would be a great way to prove, this is really funny actually, to prove concept, because I was cold calling people, asking for their business, and then I'd get messages from people saying, I want to start my own company, but I haven't got 20 grand or whatever, and they'd be like, people's objections were so big on why they can't start their passion project or whatever it might be, or their dream or their business. And I remember saying to you, worst case scenario, we can use this as a test case as a case study of what you can do with literally the phone in your pocket. So I even made that stupid logo that we've still got now on Canva. It's free to use software you can get off Canva. If you scroll down to Canva, you can probably see the fucking logo on there. It's just literally, I don't
even think you changed the colours.
I wrote the name on the text thing and I turned it sideways and I slotted it in just because I wanted to make this whole thing penniless. Like, I didn't want to spend a penny on it other than my time and my sweat equity. That was the whole thing at the beginning. Like, and then it very quickly changed into not just doing a test case study. It was like, fuck, we've got a business on our hands here. But yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I know, and a lot of people, because with Matt having like a few different businesses, a lot of people talk to you about like advice and things like that, or even people in the street, and you just be like, all you need is your phone in your pocket. I
spoke to someone at Wingfest. I'm not gonna name him, because we ended up having a night out with him, and he was a great fella. But he said to me, how he wants to start doing food reviews. I've heard it 100 times, obviously. But he spoke really well. He looked the part. He obviously loved wings. I think it was wing reviews maybe or something like that. He just was brilliant. And he was like, yeah, but I'm going to wait till I get a team behind me. And he was like, he had this big plan for how he needed six members of staff and money and all this sort of things. It was just, I remember going to him, I was like, bruv, I literally started with just a phone. Like, didn't even have a mic, so on the windy days, we'd have to stand in a shop doorway, like...
Everyone would be like, oh, it's so windy.
Yeah, like, people would message and say, God, the audio on that video was terrible. I'm like, yeah, because it's filmed on an iPhone, mate.
We didn't have any lights either.
Didn't have any lights or nothing. We just don't let that stuff get in your way, It's just really... If anyone's going to listen to this and take something away from it, it's just crack on with it. Perfection kills. There's probably a saying around that, like, how perfection kills things. Like, people won't start until they think it's perfect, because for the fear of judgment from other people that it's not perfect or it's not right, or they might get laughed at because it's a low production or something. We literally didn't edit the first 200 of our videos. Like, apart from maybe cropping it in and out at the beginning, it was all one take wonders. I made mistakes. We said stupid things. The wind was muffling the audio. It was a really bad user experience. A couple of the videos uploaded in potato quality. Literally, you couldn't even view it. But we still just carried on. I don't know.
I know. And also, I mean, we still do them in one take wonders, don't we? Sometimes we do cut a bit out because we've got software and stuff now. But at the beginning, we've progressed. Yeah. We thought, do you know what? Let's edit. But we only started off using like iMovie, didn't we? And then
that's when we added. People would realise when we added, like, had a deal with a company for a few months. We won't say who they are because we're not working with them anymore. They had a little 10-second clip, so we needed something to like piece it all together and stuff. So we used iMovie, which is a free-to-use software on our laptops. That was really hard at the beginning as well, wasn't it? But
yeah,
well, I found it hard. Jess took to it like a duck to water.
I know, it was really funny because we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? That ages ago, because I've never really had a proper career as such. I kind of left uni and just got jobs. And I remember talking to you saying, I think I want to get into video editing. And you were like, no. Oh, no, you didn't say no.
But like, how?
Yeah, no, like, well, how are you going to do that? And then, like, fast forward, like, 4 years, and I literally edit videos all day.
Yep.
Well, Callum does it a lot now.
Yeah, look, I know there's like people like Callum who've got maybe a little bit more of an advanced skill set, but you definitely took to it.
Advanced.
No, not. Yeah, maybe, but you took to it like a duck to bloody water. And if you don't know how to do something, you've got no one to call on. You jump on, don't you? If you said, I wonder how to do that, and just goes on Google, works out yourself, don't you? Just you really slick like that. And I think that's why we're probably a match made in heaven, because we're not the sort of people that will moan or complain about not being able to do something. We try and figure out a way to make it happen and how it can happen. I'm certainly not one to roll over and just
Yeah, I think like we probably work as well. Like you're definitely a person. Do you know you were talking about that bloke that wanted to make everything perfect?
Yeah.
That's a bit me. Like I always think of reasons not to do things, but I think you push us to just do it, and we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, I'm not scared of failure, Jess. You know, I've publicly talked about a big failure, you work out that it's a bruise, not a scar. It doesn't matter. You can always come back with, we've had other businesses that haven't really worked. It doesn't matter. Just get on with it. Just have some fun.
Yeah.
And I think the more fun you have, like we have a food review club, the more successful it's going to be.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so let's.
Oh yeah, what's Instagram saying?
Oh, we've only got one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's read that one out at least.
All right, let's just read that one out.
It's probably going to be something stupid like go to this kebab shop, please.
I've got a couple now.
Oh,
Here we go.
Oh.
Big Daddy B Foods.
Oh,
Shout out to you.
Yeah, he was
What a geezer.
our first food hero. That was
All right,
fun.
this is a great question as well.
Okay.
It says, looking back, what was the most important video for the page, i.e. went viral, etc.? I know straight away.
Do you?
Go on then, what do you think it is?
I
Oh, come on, it's the first one that went pop.
can't remember. The first one that went pop, like you
I
think?
think it's still our most viewed video.
Oh right, yeah. What Medina Grill?
Yeah, Medina Grill in Peterborough.
Medina Grill in Peterborough. Yeah, it's like a what is it? Like a fusion kebab shop, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was like our third review of the night. I think I got a big box where it had chips, funky doner meat on there, like one of those doner meats that's cooked on a grill with sauces, and rotisserie chicken that they did, and it was just incredible. One of these like real breakthrough takeaways, and I gave it a great score. It was a good review. A few things happened, but it wasn't nothing particularly special.
No, it wasn't, was it? It was
That
just
that went crazy. I'm talking.
that was our first video to go over 1 million, wasn't it?
Yeah,
over 1 million views.
Yeah. I think that's sitting at about 3.5 million now for an actual standalone review. Is probably our best one. That was at the time as well when we reviewed Chicken George for the first time. I think that was in the same 2-week period, and that was probably
that went big as well, didn't it?
that was a viral week, shall we say? There was a cauldron of good things that happened that week, and we kind of threw it all together, and we really hit it hard. And that video spiked us into probably the stage 2 of the growth of the page, which I remember it vividly. Yeah, so Big Daddy B, big shout out to you. I'd love to get you on this podcast, by the way. If anyone doesn't know,
he'd be a good guest, wouldn't
talk
he?
about passionate people and the people you meet along this journey, which is another thing for me. Let me write some notes down.
What are you writing down? Actually, do you know you said at the beginning we didn't have a name for the podcast? I'm pretty sure someone came up with food for thought. I don't know if that's
boring. All right, next question. Guys, if you think we're going to accept that for the podcast name, please get in the comments now, or just message us. Or need a name for the podcast, or
maybe the winning name could get a free T-shirt.
Should it even have a name? It should be the FRC Podcast. And we use the title with something that's been said in the video.
Well, maybe.
Chat with such and such, but we'll come to that. Next one. This is from ELL.BE. And it says, what's your favourite thing about doing food reviews? I'm going to ask you first.
You can ask me first. Probably the fact that our life is very free now. We don't have like a normal 9 to 5. We probably work more than that, but it's kind of on our own terms, which is nice. If I want to go and get my hair done in the middle of the day, I can. It's alleviated us a bit. It's given us more time, I think. What about? Actually, I've got a second thing. I don't want to put my hand up. Teacher, and I don't know if anyone's listening, but I just put my hand up like a
Do you think anyone is listening by now? Guys, if you're still listening, comment the secret word gorilla. Comment now a secret word gorilla. If you're listening in your car, just shout gorilla out the window. All right?
We'll hear you.
Yeah. That's the secret word for everything.
When we were, this actually happened when we were at Wingfest. Actually, one of the vendors or the traders came up, like they were talking to me, and they literally just said to me, they were like, "Thank you for everything you've done for our industry." Like, I don't know. We speak to some of the reviews we've been to that have gone well, or even if they haven't gone well, and actually it being able to completely change a takeaway and turn it around and get people travelling all over the country to come and try their food that would never have even heard of them before. I think that's something for us to be, because of that. I think that's really good.
Yeah, I'm not going to say we're used to it now, but when you first hear that type of thing, it fills you with immense pride, doesn't it? Like mad love, It's heavy to hear, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
because they really mean it. Like,
I'd never even think like that, but like for someone actually to come up to us and be like, "Oh, thank you for everything you do." It's like saying.
Who was it?
It was someone from who was it? The box shop. That might be wrong. I think it might have been the box shop, or And
Anyway.
someone we've never even actually like spoken to, because some of the people we go to, we do become good friends with them afterwards, don't we?
Yeah.
They're
We've
keeping
even done
contact with
business
us.
with some of them after from other businesses. I would even say some of them we're great friends now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we could.
It's like for example, Chicken George. People say, "Oh, how much are they paying you?" They've never paid us a pound. We did a review there, and that review helped them as it helped us just as much as it helped them.
Yeah.
They had queues around the block for a week. We had 500,000 views in a day. Like that sent us semi-viral. That helped us no end. So I've got mad love for them as much as they've got love for what we did. So it's like this. We've got this great. Now we're spending more time with them. I just go over there and they sort us out. And it's just like you feel like royalty. And of course I'm going to support them. Of course I'm going to shout them out. I love them and what they do. And that's just one place that we've been to.
Exactly.
I've probably got 20 or 30 of them. We've got Roly Poly Eek,
They had people camping outside, didn't they? After the review went,
They said they actually had a bit of trouble with that because they had people in the street camping from Scotland, and they were like camping and leaving a mess, and the neighbours couldn't get out of their house. There was camper vans up the street and like people in the road, and it went crazy.
Yeah, and
It's quite a small shop as well,
We went to Burgers, Wings and Ribs, and the owner of that was saying how a bloke had come down. He'd flown over from America and he was doing like a food review club tour. He was just going to all of the places, like the good places we've been around the UK.
I tried to meet up with him, didn't I? But he never sort of came back.
That's just insane. We've made someone travel from America over here to try some of our food that.
But there's a guy that had a flight. There's numerous flights have been diverted to Luton.
Yeah,
just so people could go and have a Chicken George.
The Stansted is dead. It's all about Luton now.
Yeah.
But I think that's the best thing about it.
I think the first part of your answer was cool. From a family and husband and wife point of view, is we have a bit more time.
Yeah, we're not.
Even though it feels like we've got no time, I feel like that.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like you have all the time and no time at the same time.
Time. If Jess needs to go and get a haircut or go and spend the afternoon walking the dog with her mum, for example, she can. There's no, you haven't got a boss like you used to.
No.
That was a big step for you as well. Obviously, you guys will know Jess is an equal shareholder of the business, but also she works full time for the company as well. And to take that, I left my job pretty quick, handed my notice in, and started my own thing, which didn't go very well to start with. Which is probably why you've got a bit of reservations about it. But Jess, I was doing my thing with Food Review Club and the rest of it, and we started to build a bit of money with the monetisation from the page, etc. But for you to leave your very good, very stable job to come and work for a Facebook page was a big risk.
People thought we were bonkers, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or that I was bonkers. And actually, it was just before...
Lockdown.
Yeah, it was just before lockdown. So it was the December, basically...
You left in January, didn't you?
No, I wanted Christmas off. And I couldn't have it off.
That was it. You started like January.
So I decided I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm leaving. So I could leave at like the 22nd of December. And then, and then I worked from home, didn't I?
Loosely.
Loosely. Had a little bit of a vacation. No, and then, it was all right. But then, obviously, 3 months later, we went into lockdown, and me and you looked at each other like, shit. Like one of us hasn't got like a furlough or anything, did we? We didn't have any of that.
No.
We actually had you had businesses that were relying on you where the world was ending basically. So that was really tough.
Gives me goosebumps to think about that sort of time.
I know it seems like a million miles ago, like million years ago, but it's actually wasn't that long ago, was it? No. But then we kind of just like diversified, didn't we? We started doing stupid cooked reviews. I felt like the whole of lockdown, all I did was clean up our kitchen because we were cooking.
We tried to do 2 videos a day during lockdown, didn't we?
Yeah.
Talk about turning a bad situation into your favour, sort of thing. That was our approach and our method. And I think, do you know what? I think actually a lot of people message to say we helped them through their lockdown. You know, like with some sort of home, crappy little reviews where we were just trying Asda pizzas, you know, stuff that they could get at home. I just remember, do you know what? That's really give me like goosebumps. I remember that being a really difficult time. I don't want to,
We get we do get quite a lot of, not quite a lot, but it is really nice when people message us saying that, you know, they've been in hospital with COVID or they've had broken legs and they haven't been able to get out of bed or not stupid things like that, but like anything like that where they haven't been able to, when they've actually taken the time to message us to be like, your videos have actually made me the first time I've smiled in weeks or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's really humbling and nice to hear. And that's when the days when we do really shit and we think, oh, I can't be asked to do this anymore. And you think, actually, no, we'll keep going. Even though probably, that's just got to keep going.
Absolutely. So is it my turn to answer that question?
Oh, yeah.
No, I just read that bit there and I thought that's probably what I love about doing it the most. Mine's a two-folded question. I love the... what do I love most? Was the question, what do I love? Get your words out, mate. What do I love most about doing food reviews?
Yeah.
You're
going to say doing it with me? I feel like I might have needed to say that.
Probably, yeah. It is nice. It is nice, Jess.
But no, you don't have to say that. What is it really?
A couple of things. Some of it's a we thing, not just a me thing. Some of the people that we have met on the way and people I've spoken to, it's breathtaking, you know. As a young businessman who hasn't been particularly successful, you know, who's trying to find his way, meeting some of the people we've met, of rubbing shoulders with and being friends with now and having conversations has been hugely valuable, and I've absolutely loved it because it's strange when you've got such a big audience. It's quite powerful, and I think people know that. And people have been a lot more open to talking to me and less guarded, should we say? If I just message them on LinkedIn, I've got a hello rather than a fuck off, and I think that helps a lot. You know, even the other weekend, I was out drinking with you, and we had people around our table that were hyper successful. You know, like one, for example, was you got Richard from Wingfest and Dan from Wingfest. Dan owns Gorilla Events, and like him, for example, I had a night out with him, and he was talking like. I remember actually having a bit of a out of body moment, like thinking, "Wow, actually, this guy's fucking legit." You know, It's nice for me. It's really, really cool. I absolutely love the doors it's opened for us in terms of things we can do and people we can meet, and God knows where it's going to go next with it. We've just got to keep going. And
I know we I don't even think people really understand even what we do. I think if I was to ask like my parents, what do I do?
My dad hasn't got a fucking clue.
No. And it's weird, and it's hard to explain to people as well, like to kind of know what we do. Even going to Wingfest and stuff like that, you know, although you did some stuff on stage, didn't you, for the first time? That was really good.
Yeah, nerve-wracking.
But you were like...
Second day was much better, much more comfortable.
Yeah, just...
It's like anything though. First times I was breaking it.
I
was stiff, I was rigid, I was nervous. Second day it was better, and I actually enjoyed it a little bit, like the buzz with the crowd. But yeah, it was...
Well, I remember in 2019 we went to Wingfest, and I think we just got the tickets on a whim, didn't we?
No, so Dan from Chicken George got us media passes.
Yeah.
But we were very much like turned up like tourists.
Yeah, we had no
idea. We didn't know
idea.
anyone.
No, we literally only knew Chicken George, didn't we? And we hadn't known them that long.
Yeah, it was like a thank you sort of thing. Here's a couple of tickets to an event.
And then fast forward to the next Wingfest, which is, I know we missed a year, but fast forward to the next Wingfest, and you're like, you've got media obligations.
We were the official media partner of Wingfest.
You know, and you're on stage. Like, that's crazy when you think about it like that. Like how we just came as punters before, like just coming around and trying all the wings. We did actually film a vlog, didn't we?
Yeah, tried.
A couple of people knew who you were, didn't they? This time it was like, I just had to leave Matt while he was getting all the selfies.
Yeah, it's mad.
I was like...
It's just very humbling, isn't it? Like, it's literally the page wouldn't be where it is without people that watch. So you've got to just be super thankful to everyone that takes the time to consume your shit, you know, like...
Yeah. There's not many... I mean, you watch a lot of YouTubers and things, don't you? But I don't particularly. There's a couple of...
I watch my car and automotive YouTubers religiously. That's my game. They're my...
yeah, they are.
They're my people that I watch. Yeah, I love all that.
People are like that with you. Like, you sit down at dinner and you put on YouTube videos of like carp fishing and things.
Yeah. They're actually watching you today, just not actually listening.
Oh, I know. Sorry. I keep forgetting the cameras are there.
All right, cool. But, got any other questions to ask me, Jess?
Not really of any merit.
What sort of guests do you think we should have on then? Like chefs?
Yeah, definitely chefs. Maybe you can't really do any cooking, can you, while you're doing this?
You can, but I think a podcast is just literally about just talking.
Yeah. Anyone with a good backstory, you know? I think there's loads of cool people we've met, even that aren't really anything to do with food. I think they would be good. Everyone loves food.
I have to get that geezer in off THC radio.
Oh, God.
Dave.
We actually were in the car and we found THC radio, didn't we? Yeah.
Was it any good?
Oh, we didn't keep it on for very long, but I was looking for something else.
He got a bit of abuse in the comments, didn't he, for chowing into some of that king crab? I think.
Do you know what? I actually... Because we got three lots of everything, and that was our lunch, wasn't it? We were like, oh, we'll go there for lunch.
About 100 quid of stuff.
Yeah, and it was a lot of money, and I knew it as soon as he was there and he was hanging about. I was like, Matt's gonna fucking ask him to eat some of the food, and there he did. He was like, oh, come on, mate. I was like, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. Don't worry, I'm not hungry. And I actually got a bit aggy, I think. Then so he had the crab, and I was like, yeah, all right, you can have the crab. And then you're like, go. He was hanging around. He knew what he was doing. He was hanging around, and you're like, oh God, mate, have the lobster. I was like, the lobster? That's what I wanted, but it's all good. I had the scraps. I'm pretty sure I had half of his crab leg.
Jess, I feel like it was a bit of a nice rant.
Is it on my mind?
Now that's the Jess that I know. That's the Jess that I live with people. That's the Jess that I have to deal with.
Oh, God.
Fucking Dave from THC Radio. Do you hear what you did to her?
I hope he's
that was her lobster, Dave.
When you go on THC Radio, I'm going to be like, Dave, you can get the food in this time.
Yeah.
And then we can eat it all. But no, it's fine.
What food Dave would get in, by the way, obvious name in the title, THC Radio. Man, I think Man have been hitting it pretty hard.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So
Look,
Jess, let's talk about this now. I think nearly 80% of the comments at one point was, I feel so sorry for his wife having to stand there and watch him eat. Does she ever eat? Does she eat? Oh my God, she only gets the scraps. Guys, hear it from the lady herself.
Look at the size of me. I definitely eat. No,
Do you just eat the scraps, the offcuts?
Yeah, most of the time. Like, let's not beat around the bush. Like, I do try it. If you it's hard enough. People know watching the videos and they think, oh, I need to go and order a kebab now. Like, imagine if you're standing in front of someone, you can smell it, and they're going, how good it is. I'm gonna be like, I need to try that now, and usually what happens.
All right, there's this thing that you've not spoken about. That it's not a dinner. You want to try it and you want to have a go at it, but it's not like you don't eat dinner.
It's weird. Like, if we go for a night out reviewing, that it is our dinner. Like, yeah, we don't actually have like a full thing, but if you have a few bites of like 5 different takeaways, you're not going to need to eat anything else apart from your hula hoops and your Kinder Bueno on the way home.
And a Lucasade Sport or a Red Bull.
Yeah. But no, I mean,
So what you're actually saying is, Jess, what the concluding thoughts to there is that you only actually eat the scraps. You don't get your own food.
No, but obviously if I want my own food, I could do what I want, but there's no point. Like, it's just wasteful otherwise. You know, I could.
Right. If you are hungry, though, if you are hungry, you do say,
yeah,
Jess will eat first. True?
Yeah.
Like Master's Kebab at
Yeah, I had mine first.
Gillingham.
No. Gillingham.
Whatever it is. Gillingham. You had a kebab first, didn't you?
I did have it first, and but what you imagine, we order quite a lot of food from each of these places, and you think it's actually quite wasteful, and it's usually places I like as well, like chicken and burgers and stuff, and you do want to try them, like how people watching will want to try it and think, oh, I need to go and get that. There was 1 week, wasn't it, when I did that diet?
Yeah.
We went on like a northern tour, went to Scotland, and I was doing like the Cambridge diet where you can't eat anything.
It's one of these miracle diets where you don't actually eat any food, and you at the end of the week you lose weight.
I did quite well on it, but put it back on. But if you can imagine how hard it is for anyone just doing a diet, but to be a videoer of a food reviewer.
So did you say to be a videoer of a food reviewer? That's hard enough to fucking say, let alone do, Jess.
What am I? What is it?
A videographer.
Am I?
You're a boss bitch, business owner, food review queen.
Yeah.
That's what you are.
But just to be stood there in front of someone like doing,
chowing.
I think we did 15 reviews that weekend as well, and I think I only tried one of them, which was the sushi, because I thought that was probably the healthiest. But that was tough.
That's good sushi as well.
It was good sushi, but giving you up.
That was a big yawn. But yeah, I'm glad you've kind of sort of squashed that.
Yeah, so I do eat, but obviously, there's no point. I don't like wasting food, and we do have to waste a lot, don't we? Because we try
not to, but it is a business for us. Like what we might waste, we know bigger picture is going to create a lot of eating.
And we do, like, if we have a pizza and we have a couple of slices and we do see a homeless person, or we'll give them it, or we'll get them their own meal or whatever. It's not like, but most of the time we do just throw it away, because if we were to
also it has been COVID times as well recently.
Oh, exactly.
So for the last 18 months, people haven't been particularly forthcoming to eat your stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you can just mate, have a bite of this burger. And even though I do try and force it down people's face, but I don't think people have been particularly welcome to that. So
no,
it's not been easy. So there is a bit of wastage, but
we always So why would I then have my own dinner when I can just have a little bit of everything, and that's that. And that's basically how it works. So I do eat. I eat a lot.
I've got a question for you. Do you enjoy it?
Do I enjoy it? Yes and no. Sometimes it's hard. As much as we're in control of what we're doing, we're kind of what do you say? A slave.
Yeah, not on the treadmill, can't get off.
Yeah, so especially on Facebook and YouTube, if we consistently upload, our money is good. If we have like 2 or 3 days off of not uploading, the money just drops. So you think oh, you own your own business, you can do what you want, but actually, if we want to take like a week off, we have to work twice as hard the week before. It's not just like a 9 to 5 where you can just pick it up.
Your edits that you and Callum are doing now are not, for a 15-minute video. Callum, what would it be a thing on that? How long does it take to download? Hour, yeah. She's an hour just to...
Callum's shit can be... like exporting, all of that, uploading, it takes time. The actual edit might not take that long, but you're a bit of a slave to it in a way. So that's the kind of thing I don't like. But then, of course, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be doing it if I
allows us to live a
unique life.
A unique life. And I always think that this untrodden path hopefully will lead to some nice fruit, and everyone trying to some sort of crazy analogy there, but like the view at the top of the mountain is a hard road to get to, but it will be a nice view. You could stay at the bottom and be comfortable all your life, but I think that's what we've got to try and remember. It is hard though, isn't it? Just like
I remember in like lockdown when all my friends were furloughed or something, and I had people say to me, "Oh, you should have just stayed in your job. You would have been furloughed anyway." And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe, but." We did what we had to do, didn't we? And it was, and we're fine, and we've come out better for it.
We did take quite a lot of heat on lockdown for doing some travelling, though, didn't we? That was a crazy time.
Oh, we did, yeah. It was the first lockdown when it was like, don't go to work unless you're emergency services. Like, don't go to work unless you physically have to.
It was a very complicated time because we were actually acting completely within the
no,
guidelines.
Not in the first lockdown. It was the second one,
where you could be, if you couldn't work from home, you could travel. And I don't think people don't understand. We do have other businesses, but how can I say this? Food Review Club is our full-time job. Even though we've got financial interests and whatever elsewhere, this is our job. You know, that's true, isn't it, Jess?
Yeah, it's our main income.
Yeah. So we, as per government guidelines, we were allowed to travel to do our job, which is food reviewing. And it might seem a bit crazy to you guys, it's not important, or people thought you're not emergency or whatever, but that's not what the government guidelines were.
Yeah, they were almost like playing on us, saying like, oh, it's not right. And even though we were within the law, but really, is it right? And you're just like, well,
just because it's an entertaining, we still have the right to, whatever.
It's important to us, isn't it? Because that's what puts our food on the table.
Anyway, it was a tough time for everyone in the country, and I think we did take a bit of heat from that, but we had the police come around our house a few times, didn't we?
Yeah, someone kept reporting us for travelling, and every time they came over, we just had to be like... Yeah,
they just said, they ended up saying sorry,
Yeah, we had to check up on it, that kind of thing.
What was quite funny, though, was... It was a bit of a long drive. Maybe shouldn't have gone quite so far. But the police picked us up in Exeter, which is about 250 miles from our house. And... I don't know if I should be telling the story or not, but whatever. The police picked us up from the motorway. Police picked us up from the motorway, followed us all the way into Exeter, pulled us over, and he said basically that we've been picked up on the ANPR camera, that they've identified us as a Cambridge vehicle. The guy telling me this, so our cars were opposite, so my driver's seat was next to his driver's seat, and he just wound his window down and wanted to know. He kind of cornered us into a sort of a back street. And as he was sort of sternly telling me this, I caught a glimpse over his shoulder of his officer sitting next to him. He was just like nodding and smiling at me, like kind of like winking and doing like little like this to me. And he knew. And I said, he said, why are you here? And I was like, by this point I'd noticed, and I said, I'm a food reviewer. And his colleague was like, yeah, he is, he's a big fan. And it ended up, he's like, all right, fair enough. And I showed him the reason why we were there, and why it actually had to be in Exeter, because we had a sponsor that was from Exeter, which needed to happen, so we couldn't do it from home. And they gave us a police escort, didn't they, to the restaurant? Slim Chickens. And I ended up having a selfie with the officer in front of their police car. Maybe we could put it on the screen, Callum, now. And the officer that was told me off at the beginning actually took the photo, and they were awesome. But their job was to stop people, and if I showed him the relevant stuff, and it was adequate. So it's just kind of.
I don't know how people thought that there was literally no one on the roads, were there? Do you know like how it was like deathly quiet? I think it was probably one of the safest times to actually travel.
Yeah, but we were in our own little bubble.
We were like, there was no one else in any other household. Most of the places were like collection. You didn't even go in anywhere. We did it all outside. It was just the fact that we had to
probably safer than normal, wasn't it? Going into places, it was very. People actually. Some of the takeaways actually. Let's talk about that quickly. We're on 110 minutes, 1 hour and 10 minutes. Sorry. A lot of UK takeaways, pubs and things, their resilience and adaptation to the situation they found themselves in I thought was remarkable. So many businesses adapted their models, like pubs then started doing things, and butchers were doing delivery services, and I just thought it was incredible to see how entrepreneurial the British people are when their backs are up against the wall. I found it absolutely fantastic, and we experienced that probably better than everyone. Like we were going all around all different places, all different types of venues and restaurants that had changed their hours and were keeping people in jobs. They were keeping their little economies going in their towns. And do you know what? From what I've heard, they a lot of them made a killing, and they did really well. And God bless them, because there was months and months and months when they weren't allowed to operate and all different sort of stuff. So I absolutely love that type of thing.
Pubs especially, didn't they? They really suffered more. I think actually takeaways probably out of all the businesses, probably did the best, didn't they?
Probably, yeah.
Because they were actually able to stay open. I know there was a point where places like McDonald's and places like that shut, and they were just like, no, we need to take this lockdown seriously. But then when they started opening up again, that's all people could do. All you could do was go and get a nice dinner. Like, you were sat in your four walls, like...
Yeah.
And also, as well, like what we said before, where people were really thankful that we were still doing videos and it was something different people could do in their house.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a lot of anything, you know, EastEnders stopped, didn't it? Like, everything stopped.
When EastEnders stops, you know you've got a fucking problem.
Yeah. You know, so
Please.
just like maybe even like a bit of normality with people.
If Max Branning can't get to work...
Who's Max Branning?
They know. If Alfie Moon and Phil Mitchell, you know, they can't get the parts. They can't get the beers.
Oh, God. But I think it was... Yeah, we were a bit tentative, weren't we? We were like, oh, should we not?
People thought we were being like brash and brazen with it. It wasn't like that at all. We'd exhausted the home reviews, and it was time to get out there and eat some, and actually kickstart our economy and food and doing what we do best. Because I think it actually brought a lot of love and joy to people, and we were trying to be as safe for us and everyone else as possible. With, you know,
I don't know how we could have done it any better.
Listen,
to be fair,
nothing would have got past Jess.
What?
You were like anti everything, so if we had to do everything the right way, you wouldn't let me.
That's not anti.
No, you wouldn't have let me do anything.
Oh no,
you wouldn't let me do anything that was, against guidelines, for example.
No, we made sure we stuck within guidelines, and we would never want to do anything illegal. You know.
Yeah.
God. But I've got.
You hear that reaction? Like that is Jess. She's straight down the line.
See if there's any other questions.
I think there is, my love.
Another question a lot of people ask us is, how much money do we spend on our takeaways?
Right, let me have a look quickly. Well, you can talk to this. You can say it, can't you?
I can, yeah. So we aim to do... I think we filmed a video of this when we went to Birmingham, and it was like the cheapest day we've ever had. I think it came to something like 30 quid, but most of the time, wherever we go, anywhere, our orders, if we say we do 4 to 5 reviews a day, our orders, because we want to get a bit of everything to showcase the takeaway, range between probably 15 to 30 pounds. Like if you think if we go to London and go to a burger restaurant or something like that, get a couple of sides, it soon racks up. So you're thinking maybe, say on average, maybe £20 per review. We do 5 in a day.
I'd say that's about right, £20.
Yeah, on average. Some are like £3, like that car park chicken was £3.50. You know, that's a whole video. But then sometimes, like that lobster was like 100 quid. So just depends really. But that also, we do get takeaways out of the reviews as well, unfortunately. I don't know how we can, but we do a bit. So we don't really go food shopping because we don't really need to. But yeah, so I reckon probably about £200 a week.
Also, can I say this as well? We've got to the stage now where people recognise us sometimes. And I know everyone thinks for the past 10 years we've been taking freebies off people. We're now at the stage where I'd rather pay. We had this the other day, didn't we? I would rather pay and not feel like I have to give you a lenient score, for example. I'd rather pay my £20 and be brutally honest and not feel like that. We don't need to accept bribes or money for scores, or, you know, we've never taken a single pound for any scores, let alone starting now, which I know the bigger we get, the more people think we're bribed and tipped off and whatever else. It's just not the case. I always try and pay now because I think it's fair, and it's just a nice way to do business. You know, I'll pay for your services, and it allows us to give you an honest answer or feedback. We make our money from sponsors and ads. We don't need to do that, and I think that's nice, Jess. I think the bigger we get, the more that'll be so important. Yeah,
definitely. And I mean, we have been gifted food before, of course. You know, sometimes they'll be like, no, they're quite adamant, aren't they? They don't want us to pay.
Refute,
Yeah. So, and there's not a lot we can do. You don't want to offend anyone. So sometimes, you know, that does happen. And, you know, it's a nice little win sometimes, isn't it? You know. Yeah. Because it does rack up throughout the month. You know, a lot of people get 1 takeaway a week. We get 17. So it does help, but No, never go anywhere not thinking like, oh, we'd never go in and be like, oh, we're like we hear some horror stories about some food reviewers that go in and be like, oh, I want to come to your restaurant.
Yeah. We get sent screenshots, don't we, from other restaurants saying, I wish people were more like you guys.
Just like, or people that wouldn't put a review out because they hadn't paid them and all sorts of things like that.
Foodie blogger wankers have said, hey, I've got 37 followers. Mind if can you gift me a pizza, for example? And it's like,
yeah, and I'll put it on my grid or something like that. I mean, I know that's how they get by or whatever, but we try to be as open as possible, don't we? And just try and pay for the food.
Okay, so I think that's kind of been like the backstory, Jess, of a nice way to talk about episode 1. You featured. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Don't know if I will again.
I think maybe. You should. I'd like you to.
Maybe. I think this has been fun, though. Been nice to talk about things. I know we have like touched on a few of these in a couple of videos, but it's quite nice to just sit down and go through everything. It might not have been as exciting as if you were to get a famous person.
It's been
or
nice.
Something.
It's been a pleasure, my love. You've been a key part to this page. You know you have, and I think everyone else watching this now has. So it's nice to have you on here talking. And I think we, for a split second now, got a glimpse of the real Jess ranting about that man stealing her crab legs. I think that could even go down in FRC history. You know, I could say now that's obviously going to make a social media clip. That's going straight on the fucking grid.
I don't want Dave to see it.
Dave's going to see it.
I don't want him to see it.
I don't want you guys to tag Dave from THC Radio. No. There's a bit when she went, the lobster? It's my lobster.
Oh.
No, Dave can fuck himself, Jess. You know.
You do love, I think that, because we waste a lot of food, you do love giving it away. And sometimes, you know, when I'm watching, I think, oh yeah, I'd really like to try that. And then like you get some grubby man putting their hands in it and you think, oh no.
Whoa, sorry.
No, I didn't mean Dave with his grubby hands. No, I mean like anyone, you always ask people, like if someone comes in, you're like, come on, try it. Yeah. You know, you don't know who they are. You don't know where they've been.
All these grubby men.
I didn't mean that about Dave. I just meant like Joe Public. Like sometimes you just
you're saying the grubby public.
Well, yeah. Like I don't know I don't know if their hands are clean. You don't know. You just literally met them on camera.
I am bad for that.
Which is nice because the food would go to waste. So if we can share it with someone, that's fine. But sometimes.
Do you remember that chip? I ate a chip once that a dog had eaten on camera.
You've also swallowed raw chicken.
Yeah. This chip though, it was great because I was feeding the dog. I think his name was like Little Eric or something, Little Jack Russell, and he schnibbled the end of this chip off, and then he didn't really want it, but he got tongue on, and I went to him back up and we started talking and everything. And it was just like I forgot that the dog had eaten the chip, and I just started eating. I ate the chip. It was like disgusting. Yeah. And the raw chicken.
That raw chicken was so funny. So Matt was literally like, he goes, oh my God, it's raw. And he had it in his mouth, like he'd just taken the bite. And then 2 seconds later, he was like, why have I swallowed it?
Yeah. I just thought the fastest way to get rid of it was to swallow, but I forgot that it was actually what I was doing there was to swallow it inside my body.
So funny. I know we were just about to finish, but I would like to talk about something that we did. You love a hot challenge, don't you? Like a spicy challenge. God. And I don't think viewers understand the pain this man has put himself through for the sake of a video. So there was one we did with the
Death Nuts.
The Death Nuts, which was a horrendous challenge. And in his infinite wisdom, Matt decided to drink like 8 pints of milk afterwards just to soothe himself. And I swear to God, the noises coming out of that toilet, it all came back up, didn't it? And then you had the audacity to ask me to clean the bathroom, and I flat out refused.
It basically came up in like cheese. It was just.
Oh my God!
I was ill for a few days after that, wasn't I?
You were. That really did.
The worst one was the 1 chip challenge. That was.
Oh, you think that was worse?
Yeah, it was worse. I wasn't right for days after that. I don't think I had the violent sick-in from it, but it definitely affected my
Feng shui.
My feng shui. I'm big on energy, big on vibes, big on vibrations, and I was operating at a low frequency for 3 or 4 days after that. That was bad. That like affected my
person. Your being.
Yes. But I'm not a fan of the super hot stuff, so it's like for me to do that is a big deal. You know, like
I did enjoy that video though.
The smelly fish, for example, that was.
Oh.
I'm a big sicker. Like that activated my gag reflex pretty quick, and that's just a.
And Matt's the worst sicker as well. Yeah. You know, like I think I'm a really good sicker. You know, just like you can have good and bad sickers, Callum.
Mine's a real fight. Getting mine out is a real tug of war, you know.
I think anyone listening will know if they're a good or a bad sicker. You know, Matt, the whole neighbourhood knew that was coming out.
On that note, I think we should.
Yeah, he won't cut this short.
We'll tie this episode off nicely. We're at an hour and 20 minutes. It's a nice introduction to our podcast. I don't think it's always going to be like this, but maybe it should be. I don't know. We're just going to sit down and talk. Hopefully, we'll get some snippets of gold out of it. And we might even have some cracking guests along the way. Once again, a massive shout out to my beautiful wife, Queen of FRC, Jess.
Thank you. Thank you. Press the this one. That's it. I know it's laughing. So.
Shit, wrong button. We'll welcome that for next week.
And thank you.
I know where it is.
No, that's music. Sorry. That's the one.
Right, here we go. Ready?
Do it again.
Big shout out to Jess for coming on.
Thank you. Shout out to Matt.
Yes. Oh, boo. Now, and a huge thank you to Parker Rose Interiors for putting up with us during this podcast. We've had to cut it a few times because Simon was walking around clanging and banging. You know, we're not trying to film something that requires a bit of audio sensitivity, but huge shout out to Parker Rose. As you can see, we're sat in a beautiful kitchen showroom, perfect sort of angle for us, a lot of mutual ground. No, I'm not being paid to say that. I'm just happy to chuff in beer. Go and check them out. I want to tag their page. Go and have a look at their installs, because Rory and the design team are mental, aren't they? They are cracking. Some of the stuff you guys can do, some of the stuff they do with kitchens these days is breathtaking. Any foodies out there that want to bring an element of class into their own home, go and check them out. But from you and me, it's episode 1 done. Yep. Should we try and do this every week? I've heard a good time to upload a podcast is on a Monday morning. So if this goes out on a Monday morning, something for you to listen to on the way to work, set you up for the week. Listening to on the way to work maybe or whatever.
Let's have a second word for anyone still listening.
Polar bear. If you're still listening now, right in the guts, right in the dark part of the podcast, put the word polar bear in there, and you'll get a reply out of us or something like that. So, guys, if you're watching on YouTube and want to see more of this content, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you turn on the notification bell, because you're not going to miss a single video when we upload it. Because we've got lots of cool stuff coming. We've got Callum behind the camera for some behind the scenes, documentary style, guerrilla vlogs, podcasts, now also the reviews. We've got multiple avenues of content going out. We're really going for a big push. So we've got 5 people to hunt down in the UK.
Pardon?
Content creators above us.
Oh, yeah.
God help us.
I don't even think half of them are UK based, are they?
Or God help them, one of the two.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to give it a go. We're a small team. We're ambitious. We love what we do. We're passionate about food. And more importantly, we love making chuffing content about it. So from me to you guys, thanks for watching. I've been Matt. That's been Jess.
Thank you. Hello. Goodbye.
Did you say hello?
Thanks
for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.